Hello, and welcome to the Drop a Stitch podcast.
I'm your host, Dani.
And I'm your other host, Natalie.
And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the flip side of selling your patterns online.
Yes.
And this episode has been triggered
by recent events. Yes, indeed. But before we get into that, how was your week? Or your 2 weeks? Because actually, guys,
Yes.
we're sorry. We missed an episode last week.
Yeah.
I was sick. You can probably still hear it. I'm talking from my nose. My nose was
My
really...
nose?
Well, it's like a French expression. Like, it means I'm congested and like you can hear me.
Yeah.
I don't know how to
Stuffy.
say it. But yeah. Stuffy, yeah. So I was sick last week, and then we messaged each other on Thursday and realized we hadn't recorded an episode, and it was like too late. So it was like, oh well, we skipped a week. It wasn't planned, but we did.
Yeah, I had my kids were sick too, so that was, we weren't in the mood to do it, and also we don't want anything to be forced. We want it to be just natural, casual, so we were like, okay.
Happy and organic.
Yeah, everybody's going to understand if we skip a week.
Yeah, hopefully. Don't be mad at us.
Yeah, but these past 2 weeks, other than my kids being sick, it's been good, productive. I have been making a ton of progress on patterns and stuff. Today, I went ahead and got a new freaking expensive camera that I'm hoping that it's going to just bring up my pictures and my videos. For the longest time, well, I'm going to say that after. We're just so that I don't get, I'm going to start talking now and I'll tell you about it after.
15 minutes.
Yeah. How was your week?
It was good. I feel like the last 2 weeks flew by. I mean, I feel like I say that every week, but
I know.
I was sick. I don't know what happened to last week. I blinked and it was gone.
Yeah.
But it's been productive. We started working on the house again.
Nice.
If you've been following for a while, we bought a house that we fully renovated. And I mean, we're not done yet, so it's not fully renovated, but it mainly is.
Yeah.
And then we had a baby and the house wasn't done. So we moved in literally the day before I started having contractions. And while I was having contractions, and
She was still doing stuff.
Yeah, had no choice. When the baby arrived, we had only a laundry tub that was temporarily connected as water for the entire house. We didn't have any other sinks. We didn't have a shower. We didn't have anything. So we obviously focus on having water and a shower and stuff first.
Yeah.
So a lot of details didn't get done. And so the last 2 weeks we got some doors in. We now have bedroom doors. We have a bathroom door because yes, we had been living without a bathroom door this whole time. Our bathroom is in a remote corner of the house. It's not in the main area. So whenever we have people over, they can still go and no one can see them. The only time you cross that bathroom is if you go upstairs to the bedroom. So we didn't. So it was still fine, but it's now much nicer to have a door on our bathroom. And yeah, so that's why you see us, if you're watching on YouTube, you see a stack of moldings behind me because soon we're going to have moldings.
Nice.
And we continued working on drywall in the basement so that I can have an office eventually.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're making progress. I would say we're about 70% done drywalling the basement.
Ooh.
So it's coming along.
Exciting.
I can't wait to have an office and have all my things accessible and not in bins and storage.
Yeah.
It's going to be so nice.
I can imagine how annoying that must be.
Oh, it's every time I want a ball of yarn, I'm I know I have this somewhere. I have to go through bags and bins and we have an attic storage. So I have to crawl in there and it's not fun. I cannot wait until it's all Dani's office laid out and in plain sight and ready to use. And so that's been my last 2 weeks. It's good. It's a lot of progress. It's not progress on knitting stuff, but it's a lot of progress.
Yeah.
So
in life in general,
nice.
which is important. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I started to do prep work for taxes too, which is not fun, but is needed.
Don't even say that. I am so looking forward to doing that because I really want to get my taxes done so I can start looking for a new house. I need that in order to, apply for banks, mortgages and stuff. So I'm actually very excited to get it done, but I'm just dreading it. I'm
I know it's the worst. I've only hit the tip of the iceberg. we're like taking small chunks at a time. Because like if you run a business, or in my case, 2 businesses,
Oh my God.
it's so much like paperwork that you have to put together, and like receipts and this and that. And like
Oh yeah.
my accountant is really, really good, but like I don't give him a pile of receipts. I give him a table that has the info of all the receipts.
Oh yeah,
Like,
me too.
he doesn't go through receipts, so I have to sit down and like add everything up and make sure I have all the proofs for everything, and like think about everything, and like I think I'm done, and I'm like, oh no, wait, there was this too, and then I have to like. So I've only hit the tip of the iceberg. Like that's going to be my next few weeks, is trying to get that together. Like my goal is to have it done by the end of the month. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes.
I know, me too. I'm hoping
Fun,
that
boring
maybe this
things.
weekend I'll do it. On one day that my mother-in-law comes, I'll be like, okay, it's taxes day, and just get it all done.
Yeah, on Thursday my mom's coming, and I'm like, you watch Theo. I'm going to be working on this because
I
I want
know.
to make a dent. I want to get it done and over with. I hate
It's
this.
so annoying. I know.
And like I hate that it's looming, and like you have to do it and you have to do it. And
I know.
I hate it. Last year we were like, we cut it so close to like the deadline. Like
I think I did
I'm
too.
not doing that again.
Me neither.
I want to get it done.
I know. I did that too, and the accountants were like, so. Where is it? It's closing in a couple of days. I'm like,
Yeah, I know. And like they have to have time to work on it. Like
Yeah.
my accountant literally like works overnight at the end. Like, because I'm like, I don't want to be that guy this year. I want to be prepared and be there on time. But we'll see how it goes.
Yep.
So yeah, so that was our week.
Mm-hmm. So today,
In
Go
a
ahead.
new segment that we like started last time without planning it, what did you purchase new?
Well, aside from my very new camera, that I'm like, I don't even want to look at it, and
You don't want to break it?
I want to break it. I don't even want to look at it. Aside from that, oh my God, I went to the
What?
bookstore the other day.
Oh yeah, I saw your stories. You bought so many things.
I know. I just needed one of those weekly planners,
Yes.
and I got notebooks, I got pens, I got sticky notes, I got
Crochet books?
a crochet book, a cooking book. And I was like,
Yeah,
whatever.
How
it makes
did that
it
happen?
makes me
That was-
happy. I know.
exactly.
I had a little basket, like a little cart basket, which is big mistake, is the moment you are very comfortable carrying that, then you just start putting things in, versus if you are carrying something in your hand and you're like, yeah, no, I shouldn't. So yeah, but
You bought a bunch of things.
I bought a bunch of things, and then I bought this camera. I don't even want to say how much it was, because
Expensive.
very expensive.
I have a surprise for you.
What? Stop, is that for me?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Okay, for the people that are not watching, I use an Altoids, like if they're mints, a little tin, to store all of my notions.
Oh.
I'm smart. My needles, my stitch markers, I just drop them all everywhere. So I try to show. But yes, so I use that. I've used that for years. Mine is getting really used. Like the hinges are loose now. So I got a new one for me, and I got one for Dani.
Yay!
And the best part is, before you get to put stuff in it, you got to eat some mints.
Yay! Love it. Yeah, because I was telling Nat that I really like that, and I want it, and I've been looking at on Amazon, but they come in like just plain, whatever,
boring.
silver, boring. And they come in a pack of like 20. I don't need 20. I only need one. So then the other day I got these cute little ones. It came in a pack of 3 or 4. I can't remember. And I was like, oh, cute. You know, like having 3 or 4. Or, I mean, 3 extras. It's okay. But then it comes and it's just so teeny tiny.
Your needles don't even fit in it.
Needles won't fit in here. The only thing that would fit is just stitch markers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got you one.
And what else did you get?
Nothing. That's it.
That's oh my God.
That was it. All of that for an Altoids tin.
Well, there's always something new every week, because why not?
So it's going to be a new segment. What did you buy this week?
Oh, I love that, because I always get freaking something.
Yeah, so we'll do that. And then the last one is, what are you working on this week?
what am I working
Or
on?
right now. Actually, not this week. Right now.
Right now, yeah, I'm working on my new coasters and placemat sets that it's going up hopefully this week. It should be this week. The pattern. Oh, today's Monday, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, hopefully it's gonna be live by the end of the week. So I'm working on that. I worked on some not plain, neutral colors that goes in my house, like with the colors of my house. And then I was working on some like color combos just to show people other ideas of how you can do it. And now the one I'm making right now, as we're talking, is like a more springy color. It's not showing the color really good on the camera because it looks funny, but it's like a minty, like a green minty color. It's not as bright as it looks in the camera. But yeah, what are you working on?
That's fun. My flax light sweater that I fixed on vacation, and I literally haven't touched it since the last episode of the podcast because I've been doing market prep.
What do you mean market prep?
I have a market at the end of April.
Wait,
like
what?
A small one. Yeah, small market.
Why did I not know this?
You didn't?
No?
I thought I told you this.
Natalie!
Yeah. I have. So I've been like making little Letty lambs from Mama Made Minis.
Cute.
I've made a bunch of little whales.
Oh, that's
And
cute.
yeah, so I literally have not touched my flax light sweater. I can't like back it up enough. Oh yeah.
Oh, but I guess this is a good time to work on that.
Yeah, so since it's like mindless, I don't have to think. I just knit.
Oh yeah,
It's
because
the
you're doing the
perfect
body.
thing. Yeah, it's the perfect thing to do for the podcast.
Nice.
I don't even have to think about it. So that's what I'm working on.
Okay, before I lose my train of thoughts of the thing that I wanted to say, before we start talking about today's episode,
Yes.
we always do this, guys.
Yes.
You already know. We don't have to explain ourselves. About the camera. Okay, so for the longest time, I had another fancy camera that it's now getting a little bit old. There are new features that are coming up in cameras, and as you progress and you go in your social media career,
Yes.
you have to invest and get up there with the quality. So for the longest time, I was just very comfortable taking pictures with my phone, taking my videos and my reels with my phones. And I follow a couple accounts that a few accounts that they have their pictures professionally done, not just professional as a professional photographer takes their pictures, but I follow one girl, she's from Spain, that she takes her own pictures, and she has a really good camera too, and just the difference in the pictures, in the quality of the content, you cannot compare to somebody that just uses their phone.
No,
and
sure.
And my eye is just very, like, it's okay to use your phone. It's okay to take pictures with your phones. Nowadays, you can edit your pictures and make them look super nice and professional. But there's just something about a very professional picture that, to me, makes a big difference.
Of course, especially for like finished objects and like, pattern pictures. You want to have like that super nice quality. And that's like, honestly, that's what's going to sell a pattern too. Yeah. Because you can have the nicest pattern and the shittiest pictures and no one's going to want to make it. Yeah. If you have really good pictures, if the colors that you've picked are trendy, like, then people are going to want to make it. They're going to think it's cool. Like, pictures make such a big difference. Yeah.
And like, I don't know, I've been just neglecting that for the longest time. And before I bought this camera today, I had a camera. I had a really good camera. Yeah. I was just not using it because I was just so comfortable just grabbing my phone.
Because it's easier with your phone. Yes. You have it on you already. So let's just snap a couple pics and that's it. You know?
Exactly. So then you're like, okay, I'm done now. But then when I take my camera and I take pictures with my camera, I'm like, oh shit, like you can really tell the difference. It's like night and day. And whenever you start posting your content with such high quality, it's more valuable.
Yeah.
You know, people will be like,
It
oh
elevates
yeah,
it
that's
to
that.
a different level.
Yes, like she's serious kind of thing. You know, not
Yeah.
like if you just use your phone, you're not serious about it. It's just you can tell the difference.
Yeah, it's a different it's a different quality. It's a, like yeah.
Yeah, so I'm super happy and I'm just excited to start.
It's like having a professional photographer take family picture versus your aunt taking a picture of you. Like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's not, it doesn't mean one's better than the other. It just takes it to a different level. Like you just, yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing that I've been thinking this whole time is that I grab my phone and everything because I'm just always running. It's always so fast. I have 20 minutes. The kids are in bed or whatever, and I'm going to just take them fast. I need to stop doing that. And even if it takes me a week later to post a pattern, I need to put the time to make quality content versus just fast content, you know, and take the picture to actually set up everything, make it look nice, and have like a backdrop of something and have, I don't know, things around it.
Props.
And props and make it look nice rather than just my white table and my stuff on it, which I think that's a very safe way to do it.
Of course.
You know, like just
and it's worked. Clearly, you got where you were, where you are by doing that.
Exactly.
It's not like it doesn't work.
Yeah, but even like the pictures of my wearables that I take outside, they would be so much nicer, or even my blankets, if I had taken the pictures with my camera.
Yes, of course.
Yeah. But yeah, that was just like a little thought that I had in there. Side thought, yeah. Okay, so today's episode.
The flip side of selling pattern online.
Oh
And what we mean by that is that there's all the good sides to selling patterns online. Seeing other people make your makes, making money, like all these things. And that's what you always hear about. That's what everybody talks about when you talk about selling patterns online. But today we're here to talk about the flip side of that. And how dealing with customers can be fun and really not so fun.
And also all the freaking fees that you have to pay in some platforms to sell your patterns. Is it worth it or not?
I mean, it is worth it. But you have to be prepared for what comes with it. You have to be prepared for people. To me, that's the biggest thing. Like the fees, you can price your things accordingly. Yeah. You have different options based on what you want to do. But like the people, you have no control over, and people are interesting. Let's talk about star system. Let's start with that. Like people
with what?
Back the stars. Like,
oh my gosh, the rating stars?
Yes. So back in the day, like when I was young, I remember like it was like nobody gets a 5-star. 5-star is like out of the world amazing. Like everybody would always give 4-star to whatever. That has now shifted. Like Airbnb, Etsy, everything is the same. You're like, as a seller or a host or whatever, you like whatever site you're on, you need to have higher than 4 stars in order to meet criterias for a lot of their things. Yeah. Like in order for them to push you, in order for them to do a bunch of things, you have to have higher than 4 stars. And some people still have the mentality that this was amazing, I'm going to give it 4-star. And it's like,
I know.
If it's amazing, give me 5.
I know.
Like 5-star is this met my expectation. 4-star is this could use some improvement. 3-star is like this could really use some improvement. And then like 2 and 1 is just like this was bad. Yeah. But like 5-star is like if it met your expectation, it's what you expected. It's a 5-star. It's not a 4-star. People don't get that.
I know.
It's incredibly frustrating.
I know. I get so many reviews saying like, this pattern was so good. It's amazing. 4 stars. And I'm like,
exactly what I wanted. Amazing. 4 stars.
I know.
And you're like, but then where's the other star?
I know.
What else? Like, it's exactly what you wanted. It's amazing. So what else? Like, I don't understand.
I used to send messages to people right at the beginning. Like, my Etsy shop has only grown maybe last year and the year before. Prior to that, I wasn't selling that many patterns on Etsy. And every time I would get a review, I would send a message to the customer. If it was a 4 stars, I would ask. I was just wondering, why is my pattern only getting 4 stars based on your review and seeing that you like it. Is there anything that's missing? Is there anything that I can help you with? And I would say 8 out of 10 times people would be like, oh my gosh, no, I'm so sorry. I wasn't meaning to put 4 star. It was 5 or whatever. And they would just change it, which I would always appreciate. But nowadays I get so many reviews, like literally every single day, that I cannot keep up just sending messages. And if I get, some people will, I have a couple of people that have put 1 star. I know.
Oh, really?
Yes. I wish I could pull them up in here, but my phone is recording right now.
Yeah.
And they would put 1 star, and I just answered publicly to those.
Yeah. I think sometimes people too, like, especially like older people, they don't know if the 5 star is like by clicking left or by clicking right. So they don't know if like the colored star means that it's like 5 or if it's the white one, like kind of thing. So they'll click on one thinking it's 5. And then you message them, they're like, oh, I thought I gave you 5. I'm sorry. And then they change it. But
I know. I have 1,115 reviews. Like,
that's
I
a lot.
literally get so many all the time. Let me just see if I see one that has 1 star. So I try to answer to a bunch of reviews, not only the bad ones, but the ones that are like really bad. You just wonder, you're like, why? Just why? And I've sent messages to people that will leave really, really bad reviews. And they never answer back. Okay, so I have one in here. Says the pattern was written incorrectly, which is impossible because we do testers, we do edits. The pattern was written incorrectly. I was able to figure it out on my own. How is that?
Yeah.
But when I messaged her about it, she never responded. And this is very, very crazy to me because I went on my messages on Etsy, on my Instagram, on my emails. I had no message nor email from this person at all, whatsoever. So the fact that she's saying I messaged her and she never responded, it's like, you didn't.
Yeah.
You know, like you didn't.
And also there's like more than one means of communication. So like if you're like, oh, she never responded, like this is weird, like check what means to, like in the listing it usually tells you, or in the pattern, like where to contact you. If you message me on Facebook and I ask you to email me, it's possible I don't see it, you know, like.
Yeah. Like
you're also responsible for using the means of communication that the pattern designer has provided for you.
That's right. I never ever check my Facebook messages, like ever. I do not. I just get too many. I don't check them. I will check priority emails. Like that's my number one thing. I will respond pretty much immediately is emails, and then my DMs on Instagram, because I'm never on Facebook. Every time I post on Instagram, everything goes to Facebook automatically. So I have a specific email address in my pattern in the last page that I have created exclusively for people that purchase the patterns, so they can email me, and whenever I get an email to that inbox, I'm like, this is a customer that bought a pattern, I'm answering right away, right? But if you don't use that email and then you message me somewhere else, or you don't message me at all, why are you saying that I didn't answer? I found another one. You wanna listen?
Yes.
I have another 1-star review. Fastening off chunky yarn is a real pain, and this pattern requires you to do it twice for every row. Takes hours and hours to fasten off all the ends.
She means weave in, maybe?
I don't know.
Not fast enough? I don't know.
Like that, and she's talking about the chunky cloud blanket, which you do have to cut the yarn at the end of the row. But we make the invisible knot, so then you have a knot. It's very quick to make, and then you continue your row, and then you have literally no ends to weave in.
Yeah,
because you made a knot, and then the knot you won't be able to see it because you are making a border.
Yeah,
and I explained that on the video, the pattern,
everything. I had a lady gave me 4-star on my blanket pattern, telling me pattern was amazing, everything I hoped for, but I don't like making blankets. And I was like, cool. Then why did you buy a blanket pattern? And why are you taking 1 star away from me because you don't like making blankets and you've decided to make a blanket? Oh, that's not on me. That's on you, girl.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
people are interesting. Dealing with like, oh man, reviews, they make me laugh. They make me laugh so hard. What's the one I sent you today?
The lady that said that the PDF was too long.
Oh yes.
Oh, it's too much to read.
She's like, good pattern, PDF, too long to read. So what do you suggest I do? Cut the pattern in half and only give you half of it? Like, is that going to make it better? I don't understand. If I put the information there, it's because you need it.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't want to read that, then how are you going to make the pattern?
And usually, like, people will appreciate when you have more information. Like, the more information, the better. Because it's like, sometimes you have a question and it's already there in the pattern, so you don't have to worry about it.
Also, there's headings, there's subheadings. Like, look through, and if it's like, want to change the size of your whatever, don't read that pattern. Don't read that part if you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Like, got a question? If you don't read that part. Like, you don't have to read every single thing. You don't have to read the copyright at the bottom either. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But I just thought that was funny.
To me, the craziest thing is when customers come and something is happening with their project, how they are crocheting or knitting, and then they blame you for it.
Yes, which is what it's easier to point fingers to everybody else than to like take ownership of anything you do yourself. Yeah. But it's very, very, very annoying as a pattern designer for sure.
I feel like this would happen more so to people or to designers that design clothing. Mm-hmm. That pretty much, I don't know what the percentage must be of people that do not gauge swatch, and then they blame the designer, and it's like, so your sweater didn't fit and I made the right size, and it's like, yeah, sure, what yarn are you using, what knitting needles are you using, and did you gauge swatch? And
it's so annoying because when you get those messages and it's like it's not working, and it's like, okay, let's start with the basic. What yarn did you use?
Yeah.
Did you gauge what? What needle are you using?
Yeah.
Did you meat gauge? Like, you have to ask them all of these questions just to get to the bottom of like, okay, yes, they're having an issue. And like, most of the time it's like, oh, I misread that.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I know. It takes so much time. Like, you have to like answer people, and it takes so much time. Okay. And people also, like with my blanket, I've had people message me and be like, hey, so I decided to not use worsted weight. I want to use DK instead, but I want it to be the same size. Can you tell me how many I need to chain?
I know. I get that all the time.
I'm not here to create a pattern for DK. You knew when you bought this pattern that it was made with worsted weight.
Yeah.
If you want to figure it out on your own, you can figure it out on your own. Or like, hey, I'm not meeting gauge, but I don't want to redo it. This is my gauge. Can you tell me how much I need to cast on? And I'm like, it's not just your cast on. It's going to affect the length of the blanket too. Like,
yeah.
No, I can't like, people.
I know. Okay, now I want you to tell me.
Yes.
From a pattern that is anywhere between $5, $8 to, 10, you know. How much do you think you should answer as a designer to your customer?
I mean, I feel like you should answer your customer, period, in the sense that if somebody sends you a question,
yes,
you should answer.
Yes, but how much?
As a response. Yeah. However, how much info and how much help you give them, there's a limit. First of all, we're behind our screens, we're behind our phones or emails or whatever.
Yeah.
We're not there to actually, hold your hand and show you how to do it. We're not in your living room. So it's very, very hard to say what you're doing wrong from a picture.
Yeah.
Or from, a video or whatever.
Yeah.
We're not there with you. So I think, when people have questions, I try to answer as best as I can. And then I'm like, maybe you can YouTube how to do this. I can't teach you how to crochet for you to make something.
Yeah.
I also can't troubleshoot with you if I don't know what the issue is. If the issue is related to the pattern, if you're like, hey, it says I'm supposed to have this many stitches, but I can't figure out how to get to that. Can you double check if there's a mistake or something that's one thing. But if they're like, hey, every time I knit a row to your blanket, my ends are bigger than my middle.
Okay, so you guys, this happened today. That's what Natalie said. It's so funny. This lady messaged me and she says to me that she sends me a picture and says that her blanket, the ends are a little bit longer, like the side it's longer. And for the picture, for what I can see, she only did 10 rows, no more than that, or maybe 15. Okay, 15 rows. And
it's not big.
No,
she sent me the picture. It's not a lot of rows.
Yeah, and the ends were a little bit wide, like the side of the blanket.
The blanket is thinner in the middle and then goes wider a little bit at the end.
And not even that much either. It was very little. And she's like, how can I fix it? And I just asked her, I just don't know what you're doing wrong, so I don't know how to fix it. And then I ask her a bunch of questions or things that she might be doing wrong, like maybe you are maybe your gauge it's off, or maybe the stitch that you're doing at the beginning and at the end, it's not the one that it's supposed to be. And she's like, no, I'm doing the same as the instruction. And I said, well, so then it should be good. And so then I asked, so are you meeting the gauge? And then she's like, I don't know. And so then I gave her a solution that in my head, it's very simple. Like, if you are ending with a double crochet and that's happening, maybe you're doing your double crochet too loose, change to a half double crochet. That's not going to affect your blanket at all whatsoever, one little bit.
No. It's the same thing as if you're chaining to turn instead of chaining 3, chain 2. Or
Exactly.
instead of chaining 2, chain 1. I've done that for myself on patterns.
Yeah.
If I feel like I'm going too loose at the end.
Yeah. So I said that to her, and she's like, but it's not going to affect my blanket. I feel like my blanket's going to be off. And I said, no, one stitch is not going to change anything. And then she's like, well, okay, so if you are not being able to troubleshoot this with me, I want a refund. And I was like, respectfully, I don't offer refunds on patterns. You already downloaded the pattern, you're reading the pattern, you're making the pattern. I can give you your money back for a digital item. That's not a thing. No. People don't, because somebody can come to me and be like, hey, I want a refund. How am I supposed to know that you got the pattern or not? You're just trying to get the money back.
Yeah.
So you usually don't offer refunds on digital items, like anybody.
Nobody does, yeah.
Yeah. And then I said to her that I can, and she goes, okay, so then I'm going to try what you suggested, but if it doesn't work, I'm going to open a case with Etsy. And then I literally told her, that's fine if you want to open a case with Etsy, but just let me tell you that you are the one crocheting. It's not my pattern's fault how you are crocheting. My pattern is well written. My pattern has all the instructions. So, it's not my pattern's fault. How can I tell you that you're probably doing something wrong, you are crocheting something wrong, and I can't figure it out for you, and because I can't figure it out for you, it's my fault?
Yeah. Also, people don't like being told they're wrong.
They'll
be like, nope, I'm doing it right. And you're like, no, you're not.
Yeah. I know.
So,
and it's like, okay, so if you can't troubleshoot these for me, if you can't tell me what I'm doing wrong, then it's your fault.
Meanwhile, you did. You provided her with different solutions.
Yes.
And she just hasn't tried it.
No.
And it's a blanket. It's normal. The ends will go a little wider until you're done. And then you stretch it back to normal.
No, and you can see this just at the beginning. There's just only 15 rows done. Yeah. Once your blanket is huge and massive, you won't be able to tell. Yeah.
Also, who lays a blanket on the ground to make sure it's square? No one.
Mm-mm.
as you're wearing it, you, like, even if the ends are a little bit, like, no one's going to know.
No, I know.
That's the thing. Yeah. No, people are interested.
I know. So that's, like, very interesting to me. I always try to help everybody that sends me a DM or an email or questions or Etsy messages. I try to help everybody, but it comes to a point that also it depends on how you ask me for the help.
Yes, if you're asking from a nice place, like, hey, you know, I really don't understand this part. Is there any way you could clarify? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Hey, this part is wrong. I don't understand it. Okay, it's not.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's the way you ask people, like, you're not owed anything. It is
exactly.
Not because
you're not entitled.
$5 on a pattern that you're owed my time to help you solve it. Of course I want to help you solve it. I want you to make the pattern. I want you to love it. I want you to use it. I want it to be perfect.
Yeah.
But I can't do it for you. So you have to be understanding of that too. I've had people I've had people message me and was like, hey, I don't know how to do this stitch. Can you make me a video and show me? No, I don't do videos. And that's what I responded. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not set up to do videos right now. I'm like, you can look on YouTube and I'm sure you'll find some tutorials that will show you how to do the stitch. However, like, I would love for you to do it for you, but I can't.
Yeah.
That's not something I do at the moment.
Yeah.
And like, that usually goes over pretty well. Some people are not happy with that response, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lady get mad at me in private messages because she's like, your pattern is ridiculous. I had to translate Celsius to Fahrenheit and then millimeters to inches. She's like, you're using like all these random measurements that I don't know. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm from Canada. These are the measurements that we use here.
Well, yeah.
I don't know where you are in the world. I don't know what measurements you're using. And I do try. Like, I try. I don't translate like inches to centimeters all the time, but like I try to, like, you know, put as much like yardage and like, you know, weight, and like I try to put as much information as I can. But I also, like, how long would a pattern be if every single measurement was done in every single like form, like system?
And not
just, it doesn't make sense.
And not just that, but it's gonna take you longer to wait for the designer to answer than Googling it to convert it. It'll take literally a second.
But the worst part is she had done it. She was just telling me how mad she was that she had to do it. And I literally responded to her and I'm like, I'm really sorry. I don't know where you are in the world. I'm in Canada. These are the measurements that we use here. I cannot translate, like, my pattern is in English because that's what I speak, you know? It's not in German because I don't speak German. Don't get mad at me. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of the same thing. Like, these are the measurements we use here. This is what's standard here. Yeah. Fair enough. You didn't know that. Like, I mean, and this is aside from the you know, standard, like, American crochet term versus, like,
the UK.
Like, that is specified. That's kind of a basic one. But like everything else, like, I think she was from like the States and she was mad that like I used Celsius instead of Fahrenheit because she had to Google it. And I was like, I understand that can be frustrating. However, like, you know, when you buy this pattern, if you click on it, you know that I'm from Canada. So like, do your, you know, research and know that in Canada we're using Celsius. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not like, it's going to be impossible for me to translate all the measurements and all the information and all the different, like, metric, imperial, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
also,
grams and ounces and, like, you know.
Also, how freaking annoying is that Etsy has an app, but you cannot download anything from the app.
Oh, my God. That's the most annoying thing. Like, most of the messages that I get is, hi, I just bought this pattern. I can't download it.
I know, me too.
Can you email it to me? And I'm like, nope. You just can't download it on your phone, on, like, the app. Yeah. Like, and because it's, the worst part is it sends people the download link. And when they click on the download link, if they have the app installed on their phone, it opens the app automatically. So they don't even have a choice.
I know.
So I have to explain to them how to do it, which I'll say here, by the way, if you're listening, go into your Etsy account on a web browser. It can be on your phone. It just needs to be in a web browser, not in the app. And then go to your accounts, and then you can see previous purchases, and then you can see the downloads. And it's very easy.
I have a copy and paste message. I think you sent it to me.
Yes.
Yeah, I have it copy and paste. And now I even have it written in the last page of the listing, the last page of the pictures.
That is smart.
So when people are scrolling through the pictures and they see it, they also read that. So now the number of people that is messaging me for that specifically has decreased significantly because I have it in the last page.
And you know what I think I'm going to do too? I think I'm going to, you know how you can upload files with the pattern? I think I'm going to upload a file I bought off Etsy some pictures, and they have like the different formats for the different size frames, and it has a guide to show you which one to print depending on what size you want.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to do that, like how to download.
Yeah, but
I'm going to put that.
They need to download in order to see that.
Okay, you're right. Never mind. I thought my idea was good. It is not.
Well, you need to download that in order to see it.
You're right.
Yeah, I feel like the picture is more obvious, and I'm also trying to think, because sometimes I have, quite a few pictures. I might even put that picture the second picture. So whenever they scroll through the first one, which is the thumbnail or whatever, you go to the second one and it's right away how to download, and then you can continue looking at the other pictures of the pattern, so then they know. But since I've done that, the number of people messaging me to ask how to download it has decreased significantly. So now I really get the people that don't read anything.
Yeah.
Like that's the people that I get, and or that they don't make it to the last picture of the listing. So yeah, I think I'm gonna switch that, but it's just I'm gonna do that so too. Yeah, it's just so annoying that Etsy has an app and you can access your digital files through the app. I mean, Etsy, what are you doing?
Please fix this
like,
for all of us.
Freaking fix it. Like, I know
for,
you don't
designers
like...
and customers. Well, it's not just us. Like, it's everybody. And, like, it's not just crochet. Like, I bought pictures. If I didn't know where to go get them, I would have messaged and been like, hey, I don't know where to get them.
Oh, yeah. And, like, I know Etsy hates sellers. We know that. We get it. But, like, please help a little bit. Not just us, but now the customers, too. You love your customers. Just do it for them.
Fix that. Or send them an email and be like, do not open this link in the app. It will not work or something. Like, add that info so they know.
Yeah, they should. We should all Etsy sellers send a massive email, like a ton of emails to Etsy and be like,
please fix this.
Just freaking fix it.
I've seen a ton of people post about it on Instagram and like tag them and stuff. Like, I don't know.
I know. It's just
maybe it's like
annoying.
Complicated for them, but there's like, I mean, tell the customers.
But at least tell the customers, Tell the customer you won't be able to download these through the app. Please open it on a browser.
Yeah.
Just something. Just a little something there, so then they know.
Yeah.
And also, like, when somebody's asking for the pattern, to how to download it, it's also very different. There are people that are like, hey, I can't download it. Send it to my email, and they send you the email. And you're like, no, I've
had worse than this. I had a lady message me and be like, can't download it, email it to me. And I was like, hello there. Because also when you chat with customers, sometimes, like for me in my app, Etsy doesn't always put the order on top.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have to exchange a few times with the person before it like pops up.
Yeah.
Or if they're using a different account, then I don't see it at all. So I messaged back and I was like, hey, I'm sorry, can you give me your your order confirmation number so that I can look through your order and see which, like, what you bought? And she's like, wow, as if you're asking me this. Now I'm really worried. And I'm like, what are you worried about? I'm like, this is very normal. I just want to make sure, like, what it is
that you actually bought the pattern.
And then so she sends it to me. And then I'm like, okay, perfect. I found your order. Can you tell me which email to send it to? And she's like, really? You should know this. And I'm like, I don't, lady. I don't know your information. Yeah. Like, I don't know the name of your dog. I don't know your email. I don't know your birthday. Like, can you please?
I don't know where you live.
I'm trying to help you here. You asked me to email it to you. I asked you for your confirmation number and for your email. It was very simple. Just give me and she was very, like, skittish. Like, she was like, I feel like this is a scam. Why are you asking me this? And I was like, girl, you messaged me. I didn't message you. Like, so it was very, very funny.
Oh my God. Yeah. And like when people ask in a very rude way, guys, don't do that. You're not going to get anybody to answer back in a nice way if you do that, because you're not dealing with robots. You're not dealing with machines that are answering messages or emails. You're literally talking to a person, a small business, a person with feelings, and nobody likes rude people. Nobody likes somebody that's like, hey, I pay $5, just give it to me. Like, no. You ask nicely and you're going to get it right away. If you ask rude and being all, I don't know, just mean, we might take a few business days to answer you back.
Yes. I had a lady message me and she's like, hey, I can't download the pattern. Can you help me? And I was like, oh, very nice. Perfect. So I was like, yes, send her the info. She's like, not working. Email it to me. And I'm like, oh, we went from happy to not happy. And I was like, sure. What's your email? I'll email it to you. Sends me her email. 5 minutes go by. Didn't receive it. 10 minutes go by. Still didn't get it. Where is it? And I was like, good morning. I'm really sorry for the delay. It is a Saturday morning. It's 8 a.m. here. I'm up with my son. As soon as he goes down for a nap, I'll be able to email you your pattern. Like, it's a Saturday morning at 8. Like, count yourself lucky that the first thing I did when I woke up before he woke up was to look at your message and respond to you. Like, I'm not a robot. It doesn't automatically send out. Like,
some people.
And then she was like, oh, I understand. I remember that life with little ones. And I was like, okay, good. You realize that you're talking to a person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it just rubs you the wrong way when people are rude. It's like, we're all doing our best. Like, it's not like it's been 3 weeks and I still haven't sent it to you and I keep telling you I will. Like, I'm not holding your pattern against you. I'm literally just like, give me a second. Yeah. I literally woke up. I still have crusties in my eyes.
I know. I had a customer too saying that she literally sent a message saying, hey, I'm at the yarn store and I can't download the pattern. Like, I need to buy the yarn right now. And I can't remember where I was. I think I don't have all of my patterns in my phone. Like, I just have the most popular ones. So I don't have all of them. So sometimes I can't send them from my phone. I have to send them from my computer. Mm-hmm. And I literally told her, like, I'm not home right now. I'm so sorry that you need the pattern to buy the yarn. I don't have it in my phone, and I don't have access to my computer. I think I was at my mother-in-law, so like I was like, until I get back home, you know.
Yeah.
I go in the weekend. So like, some people think that if they email you or message you at 1 a.m, you have to answer right away, and it's like, dude, it's 1 a.m. I'm a human being sleeping.
I'm sleeping. And I get that it's not always 1 a.m. for them. Like, it might be their daytime, but like, you have to understand, like, if you're buying from somewhere else, like, we don't have the same time zone. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like, just, be patient. It's small businesses.
Etsy has now a new feature that you can set auto responses for whenever you are, let's say, you can use it for any time, any day. And a lot of people use them whenever they get messages at random times at night, like after working hours. Let's say if somebody has said until like 5 and you get a message after that, they answer until like, I don't know, 8 a.m. Yeah. And I've contemplated doing that and say like, hey, you message me out of working hours or whatever. As soon as the next business day, I'll message you back. Mm-hmm. But the thing is that then Etsy's going to count that message as read. So then how am I going to know that I got a new message?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I'm not going to know because I get so many Etsy notifications that I don't have them all enabled. I have enabled when people message me, and I can't remember what else, but like there's just too many. Mm-hmm. So like,
because you can get notification for like every time somebody likes one of your pattern, every time somebody favorites it, every time somebody favorites your shop, every time. So like you can get like a lot of notifications.
Yeah,
it's like, very overwhelming at the beginning when you have no traffic, and then it gets very overwhelming when you get more and more traffic.
Yeah, so like it would be super nice to do that. It would be nice for Etsy to tell you if you're setting an auto response, to be like, hey, you have to respond to this message or whatever. Or this one has been like an auto response. So then you go back and you can see, oh, okay, this person asked me for these. Now I can like actually answer myself.
Yes.
But then how do you know? Like you'd be like, oh, you know.
I wonder if when it does an auto response, it still leaves it unread.
I think it leaves it as read, and it counts as the first 24 hours.
Yes, because Etsy also gives you a certain amount of time for you to respond to people when they message you.
Yeah.
So it's all very like...
Yeah, and then when people buy from my shop, we're just exclusively talking about Etsy in here, but when people buy from my shop, like I have Shopify, I get an email. So it's easier for me to see the email. Mm-hmm. And I get a lot of... I can download my pattern, email it to me or whatever. Like I get a lot of those. And for my email, they send another email with their link. And I have set up a certain numbers of downloads. I didn't know that you could do that before, but I seen a lot of people doing it. And I was like, I'm going to do it too, just because whenever, I don't know, like the full reason behind it. But anyways, so I have that set up. So a lot of people would just like, I downloaded it and I don't know where it went in my phone. I downloaded it and...
Okay, you mean like you can only download it like once. If you click on it, download it, then you can't access the link to download it again.
I think I have it set up for 7 times.
Okay, wow, that's a lot.
So you can download it 7 times, and if not, you run out of
the link
downloads. Yeah.
That's a lot, 7 times actually.
I know. But people, I get a lot of messages from people too saying, I don't know, like I can't download it. I don't know where it went in my phone. I'm like, how am I supposed to know where it went in your phone?
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Open it on your computer and you'll be able to find it.
Do you have an Apple? Do you have an Android? Like I don't know where it went.
I don't know where it went. Yeah.
You know, it's our lovely customers. There's so many lovely customers, and I would say like 98% of all of my customers are the best. But then I have the other 2% that are just like your eye starts twitching whenever you read some of their messages or reviews, and
I'm sure like most of them are not even trying to be like mean or whatever, but like I feel like we're in this like digital like technology era, and we need to be very mindful of how we like communicate with each other.
Yeah.
And like I'm guilty of this too. Like I've messaged people online being like, hey, like can I get blah blah blah, and it's like, no, hey, how are you? Or hey, I hope you're having a good day. Like, can you, you know what I mean? And like, it's so much nicer to get a message where like you feel like the person understands that it's another person they're talking to and not a robot. Like, you know, even if it's like just small talk or whatever, like it's so much nicer than, can you send me this? Like, you know what I mean?
And we're also like the majority of knitters and crocheters. I say, I don't know, maybe 90% were women. The other 10% are guys that will knit and crochet, which is freaking cool.
Yes.
But like we are mostly women, so whenever we also have our periods, whenever we're moody in the middle of the freaking month, and you ask us a question being all freaking rude, like
we're gonna be rude right back.
Like, no, dude, absolutely not. Like, just no.
Let's just be nice to each other.
And we can read it in the wrong way too, you know? Like,
yes.
So it's not just how you write to the designer, but us as the designers, we can read it depending of our mood too, you know? So
yeah, one day it's like, can you send me the pattern? It's like, yeah, sure. The other day it's like, can you send me the pattern?
Oh, yeah.
Like, fuck you.
Yeah, I know. But yeah. It's interesting being a seller when you think that, oh, it's just passive income and then people are going to just download it, and then it's just not that simple.
No, if you have 8 or multiple patterns that actually like sell well and that you sell a lot of, like, be ready. You're going to have to answer questions. You're going to have to answer customers, and you're going to have to enjoy getting less than 5-star reviews for who knows what, because everything was amazing. 4-star.
Yeah. Perfect pattern. I love everything about it. 3 stars.
Yeah. Okay. It's they're so interesting.
Sure. I know. Now that I'm a shop owner, like a small business, I'm so much more mindful about reviews.
Yeah.
And whenever
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
buying from a small business, I'm like very conscious that this is
yeah.
really gonna impact them.
I don't
So-
typically review anything in life. I like people to review things because I want to read their reviews, but I
Yeah.
don't really review things.
Me neither.
Except for if it's a small business, then I'll review and
Me too.
like full on like, you know, say it like it is.
Yeah.
Give 5 stars if it met
Yeah.
my expectations. Add pictures if I can too, so that
Yeah.
it gives them. But yeah, it's
Oh, me too. If it's
courtesy.
a small business, I will do anything I can to review it and make it, you know, as perfect as possible. And if I don't like it, I just don't review. That's
Yeah.
it. Like
Yeah.
I won't. And if I need
Unless it's
something
like-
from the
I can't say that I've done this, but the only time I think I would review if I don't like it is if like the listing is really misleading. Like if they're telling
Yeah.
you you're going to get something and it's not what you get or something like that, or they ghost you or whatever,
yeah.
then I would review. But aside from that, honestly, if I'm not happy with it, like I'm not happy with it.
Yeah.
Fine. You know?
And also, if I really, really, really love it, let's say Amazon. I never review anything on Amazon. But if I really, really love it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this was like life-changing, then I'll review it as well. But if not, I just,
Yeah.
I don't.
Who has time?
I know.
Who has time? I mean, I appreciate everyone who has the time.
I know.
All the Karens out there reviewing everything.
I know. Please don't be a
I-
Karen. Just don't.
No,
Just be nice to the world.
But I do enjoy people that review, like, especially as a small business owner, but also like on Amazon and stuff. Like, I like to read reviews.
Oh, me
and see what
too.
people are saying about
Me
it.
too.
I don't have the time to write the reviews. Maybe when I'm old and retired and have nothing better to do.
yeah. Then I'll
But
be.
not right now.
Then I'm gonna be reviewing everything.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, that was today's
that was the flip
episode.
side.
Yeah, that's the flip side of selling, because obviously everything is amazing, but we have the flip side.
Yeah. And it's fun. This felt like a nice little venting session.
Oh,
on
yeah.
The flip side.
Oh yeah, venting of all of the
Yeah.
1-star reviews.
Yeah.
But yeah,
4 stars.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I know.
4 stars.
I hope everyone enjoyed today's episode.
Yes.
If you would like and you want to review our podcast,
Yes. Speaking of reviews.
please review 5 stars if you like it and nothing if you didn't. No, but
Just
please.
don't listen to us again
Yeah.
if you don't like it.
Yeah. No, but please, 5 stars. It takes 2 seconds and it helps us a lot. Also, like and comment on YouTube if you're watching there. And what
If you have
else?
any questions, comments, concerns, if you want to, give us a bad review and don't want to make it public, email us at dropastitchpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, and I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend
Yes, and a good week.
and a good week. Yeah, that's
And
true.
we'll talk to you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.